The stars over Orion Gate looked calm, but everyone knew war was hiding behind that silence. Captain Rhea Morgan stood on the bridge of the human battleship Vanguard, watching the galaxy's most dangerous border shimmer before her eyes. The Orion Gate was a massive ring of energy, glowing blue and gold, connecting hundreds of alien worlds. Once it was a symbol of peace, now it was a wall between humanity and the rest of the galaxy. The Galactic Council had warned humanity again and again, one more mistake, and you will be banned forever. For decades, humans had tried to prove they were civilized, worthy to join the great races of the stars. But old fears never died easily. The older races still remembered how humanity fought, how they refused to surrender, even when outnumbered, and now one spark could destroy everything. The tension on Rhea's bridge was heavy. Her officers whispered, screens flashed and engines hummed quietly. Across the view window, hundreds of alien ships formed a wall of silver and blue. Their weapons were locked on target, Earth's fleet. Rhea's first officer, Commander Holt, leaned closer. "Ma'am, the Council envoy is approaching. They say it's a final peace talk." Rhea nodded. "Keep weapons cold. No mistakes today." Outside, a golden alien vessel drifted closer, shining like a star itself. It carried the Council's ambassadors. Every camera in the galaxy was watching. Billions of beings waited to see what humanity would do. For a few long minutes there was only silence. Then suddenly, a warning siren. Rhea turned sharply. "Report. Unknown signal, Captain. It's spreading across all frequencies." On every ship, screens flickered. Comms channels went dead. Even the alien ships lost control for a moment. The entire Orion Gate system was jammed by a strange pulse of light, blue static filling every sensor. "Is it human?" Rhea asked. Her AI, a calm mechanical voice named Eve, answered, "Negative. Origin unknown. Energy pattern is old, very old." Before Rhea could react, the Vanguard shook violently. A bright explosion lit up the void. On the screen, the Golden Council ship was gone, destroyed. Silence. Every alien fleet turned their weapons toward the humans. Someone whispered, "We didn't fire." "Did we?" Rhea shouted. "Cease all fire. Get me confirmation, now." But no one could answer. Communication lines were dead. The humans couldn't explain. The aliens couldn't hear. And the galaxy saw only one thing. The humans had destroyed the peace envoy. The alien commander's message broke through the static for just 1 second. "Humanity has betrayed the Council. Prepare for judgment." Then came the light. Thousands of plasma bolts cut across the void, smashing into human ships. Explosions spread like fire across the stars. Metal turned to ash and ships spun out of control. Rhea gritted her teeth. "Return fire. Protect the fleet!" The Vanguard launched counterstrikes, missiles streaking toward the alien wall. But there were too many. Humans were brave, but their numbers were small. Holt shouted, "We're losing the right flank." "The Resolute is gone." Eve's voice cut in, calm but urgent. "Captain, message detected. Encrypted human origin," Rhea frowned. "In this chaos? Play it." The voice that came through was rough, distorted, almost a whisper. "They wanted this to happen." Rhea froze. "What did you say?" "They wanted this war. Do not trust the Council. Find Project Silence." The message ended. No source, no signature. Just silence. Outside, the battle raged. Human ships exploded one after another. The Orion Gate glowed brighter, reacting to the chaos. Its energy ring spinning faster as if alive. Rhea stared at it. Something about that gate. It pulsed in the same rhythm as the strange signal. Holt shouted again, "Captain, we need to retreat." "We can't win this." Rhea didn't move. No, not yet. For a moment she closed her eyes and felt the hum of the engines, the vibration of the deck, the echo of thousands of lives depending on her. Humanity had come so far, from Earth's small skies to the endless galaxy, only to be blamed for something they didn't do. Eve interrupted her thoughts. "Captain, enemy flagship charging a superweapon. Impact in 40 seconds. Rhea turned to her crew. "Then we buy time. Send drones full decoy mode. Prepare for warp jump." The Vanguard shuddered again as more explosions hit nearby ships. On screen, dozens of human vessels vanished in fire. She whispered, almost to herself, "This isn't a war. It's a setup." Eve replied softly, "Captain, probability suggests a 92% chance of external manipulation." Rhea's eyes hardened. "Then find it." Trace that signal. As the countdown reached 0, a massive energy blast from the alien flagship hit the fleet. White light filled the bridge. The Orion Gate cracked open, swallowing debris and light together. The Vanguard spun into the storm. Sparks flew, alarms screamed, and Rhea held onto her chair. Then everything went dark. A single emergency light blinked red. The crew lay silent, stunned but alive. Eve spoke weakly. "Captain." "I found something," Rhea coughed. "Report." Coordinates embedded in the message. A location far beyond known space, labeled only as Vega 9. Rhea stared into the flickering console. Outside, the battlefield was gone. Only the broken pieces of ships floated among the stars. She whispered, "Vega 9. What are you hiding?" The ship's engines roared again, wounded but not defeated. Humanity's last survivors jumped to warp, leaving behind the ruins of the Orion Gate and the first battle of the war that would change everything. The galaxy would remember this day as the moment humanity was condemned. But for Rhea Morgan, it was only the beginning. The Vanguard drifted through silent space. Its engines were weak, its crew exhausted, but it was still alive. After the terrible battle at the Orion Gate, Captain Rhea Morgan had only one goal: to find the truth. She sat in her command chair, eyes fixed on the flickering map before her. The coordinates from the strange message still glowed faintly. "Vega 9. Set course for Vega 9, she ordered. Commander Holt frowned. "Captain, that's outside the Council's border. It's uncharted space." "We don't even know if it's safe," Rhea replied quietly. "We're already outlaws, Holt. Safe doesn't matter anymore." The bridge fell silent. Everyone knew she was right. Humanity had been blamed for the destruction of the Council's envoy. The galaxy now saw them as monsters. Every alien fleet hunted human survivors like prey. Outside the window, distant stars passed slowly. The crew whispered among themselves, some afraid, others angry. They had lost friends, homes, and everything they believed in. Rhea felt that same pain deep inside, but she couldn't show it. "A captain never shows fear." Eve, the ship's AI, broke the silence. "Captain, I've analyzed the signal that caused the Orion Gate disaster. It's not human. In fact, it's older than any known technology." Rhea turned. "Older? How old are we talking about?" "Over 10,000 years, possibly more," Eve answered. "It carries fragments of ancient alien code, something that predates even the Council." Holt shook his head. "That's impossible. The Council says they were the first to rise after the Dark Era." Rhea gave a bitter smile. "Maybe the Council says a lot of things." Hours later, as the Vanguard slipped through a nebula, they received a weak signal, a distress call. "Human ID code," Eve said. "It's the Solace one of our ships lost near Orion Gate." Rhea didn't hesitate. "Change course. We can't leave them." When they arrived, the Solace floated in silence. Its hull was cracked open like a broken shell. No signs of life. Rhea led a small team aboard. The corridors were dark, filled with floating debris. Their flashlights cut through the dust like thin blades. Then a sound, a faint metallic clicking echoing down the hall. "Captain," Holt whispered. They followed the sound until they reached the control room. The ship's AI core was still running, weak but active. Rhea linked her suit to it. A hollow voice spoke. "Rhea Morgan, you must stop them." "The Council. They planned it all." Rhea's eyes widened. "Who planned it? Who sent the false signal?" The AI hesitated, then displayed a symbol on the cracked screen, a circle with 3 lines crossing through it. Eve's voice came through her headset. "Captain, that's the mark of Project Silence." The word hit like thunder. "What is Project Silence?" Holt asked. Eve answered, "Access restricted. Even I cannot open those files. They were hidden by the Council over 1,000 years ago." Before Rhea could say more, the Solace's power core began to glow bright red. "Captain," Holt shouted, "it's going to blow!" They ran, escaping through the airlock just before the ship exploded in a burst of white fire. The Vanguard's shields flared as debris slammed against them. When the light faded, only silence remained, and one question echoing in everyone's mind: who wanted this war? Later that night, Rhea stood alone in her quarters, staring out at the stars. Her reflection in the glass looked older, tired. She thought of Earth, blue oceans, white clouds, sunlight on green hills. Was it still there? Or had the Council already sent their fleets to destroy it? Her door beeped. Holt entered quietly. "Captain, I have bad news. The Council has declared total war. Every human system is under attack. They've ordered our surrender." Rhea laughed bitterly. "Surrender to what? Lies?" Holt lowered his voice. "Some of the crew want to go home. They think fighting is useless." Rhea turned to him, her eyes sharp. "If they want to give up, they can. But I won't. We didn't start this war, Holt. Someone made us the enemy. I'll find out who," he nodded. "Then I'll stay with you." The next day, the Vanguard finally reached Vega 9. The planet looked dead from orbit, covered in dust and old scars. No cities, no life, only ruins that stretched for miles. Eve scanned the surface. "Captain, I'm detecting massive underground structures. Very old. Built with the same material as the Orion Gate." Rhea's heart raced. "Then this is it. Whatever Project Silence is, it started here." They landed near a broken stone tower, its walls carved with strange symbols that glowed faintly as they approached. Inside, the air was cold and dry. Dust floated like ghosts. The team found what looked like a control chamber, buried deep under the surface. At the center stood a massive crystal sphere, still active after thousands of years. Eve spoke softly through the comms. "Captain, it's a data core, ancient, but still running." Rhea reached out, placing her hand on the surface. The sphere lit up, blue lines spreading across the room like veins of light. A holographic voice filled the air. "Welcome, human. You have returned." The crew froze. Rhea's eyes widened. "Returned? What do you mean, returned?" The voice continued. "You were here before. You fought before. The war never ended." Before they could ask more, the entire chamber began to shake. The sphere pulsed violently, sending waves of energy through the ground. Eve shouted, "Captain, something's activating. We need to get out." As they ran, Rhea looked back one last time. On the glowing wall behind them, words appeared in ancient letters, translated automatically by Eve. "Project Silence, the First Human War." Rhea's heart pounded. The Council had lied. Humanity wasn't the youngest race. They were the oldest, and someone had erased their history. The ruins of Vega 9 lay silent again. Dust settled over cracked stone, and glowing lines faded back into the dark. Captain Rhea Morgan and her team stood outside their ship, staring at the ancient planet in disbelief. They had seen the words with their own eyes. Project Silence, the First Human War. The galaxy had told them humanity was young, a new race among the stars. But this planet whispered a different story, a story older than the Council itself. Rhea turned to her AI, Eve. "Can you confirm what we saw?" Eve's voice came through softly but with a trace of awe. "Confirmed, Captain. The ruins are over 12,000 years old. That means humans fought a galactic war long before modern history." Commander Holt shook his head. "But how? We didn't even have space travel that far back." Rhea looked toward the sky. "Maybe we did. And someone made us forget." Inside the ship, Eve continued to analyze the data from the crystal sphere they had found. Strange symbols filled the main screen, human DNA patterns mixed with alien codes. "Captain," Eve said, "I've decoded part of the message. It refers to a reset protocol. According to the files after the First Human War, the Council erased humanity's history and memory." Holt frowned. "They erased our past?" "Why?" Eve hesitated. "Because humanity was too strong, too unpredictable. The records say humans almost destroyed the galaxy once, and the Council decided never to let it happen again." Silence filled the bridge. Rhea finally spoke. "So they let us rebuild on Earth, kept us small and made us believe we were new to the stars." Holt muttered, "And now they're doing it again. History repeating itself." Rhea nodded slowly. "Only this time we know." Hours later, the Vanguard orbited Vega 9 while Rhea went through old recordings from the data core. One file refused to open, labeled only with her name, Rhea Morgan, San Prior Identity Classified. Her heart skipped a beat. "Eve, open it." "I'm not sure that's wise, Captain," the AI replied gently. "Do it." The screen flickered. Static filled the air, and then an image appeared, a woman in armor standing before an army of soldiers. Her face was calm, determined. And it was Rhea's face. The woman in the recording spoke. "If you are watching this, then humanity has forgotten again. The Council cannot allow our kind to rise, but we always return. My name is Rhea Morgan, commander of the First Human Fleet, and this is not the first war. Rhea froze. She could hear her own voice, the same tone, the same strength, but the recording was thousands of years old. The hologram continued. They will call us dangerous. They will call us monsters. But remember, we fight not to rule, but to survive. The screen went black. Rhea sat in silence. Holt watched her carefully. Captain, are you saying you're... Rhea interrupted softly. A copy, a clone, a memory of someone who fought before. The truth felt heavy, almost impossible to believe, but deep down it made sense. The strange dreams she'd had since childhood, the unexplainable connection to the stars, the feeling she'd been here before. Holt whispered, the Council must have made you. Or maybe they tried to stop you. Rhea clenched her fists. They failed. Eve suddenly spoke again. Captain, I've detected a new transmission. Someone is trying to contact us. Encrypted human frequency. Patch it through, Rhea said. A crackling voice came through. This is Admiral Kane of the Terran Resistance. If you're receiving this, you're not alone. The Council is hunting anyone who knows the truth about Project Silence. Rhea's heart lifted. A resistance? There are others? Yes, Kane replied. Hidden fleets across the rim. We found fragments of the same message you did. We're regrouping in the shadow systems. Come to us before it's too late. But before the coordinates could finish transmitting, the signal cut out, jammed again by the same mysterious blue energy that had started everything. Eve warned, Captain, we're being tracked. Council ships inbound. Rhea jumped to her command chair. All hands. Prepare for combat. Through the viewing window, bright flashes appeared in orbit. Enemy ships emerging from hyperspace. The calm sky turned into chaos once again. Missiles screamed through the darkness. Plasma bolts tore through the clouds. The Vanguard dodged between explosions, its hull glowing from the heat. Shields at 42%. Holt shouted. Return fire, Rhea commanded. The Vanguard unleashed everything it had, torpedoes, beams, drones. For a moment it seemed like they might hold. But the enemy was too many. Eve's calm voice cut through the noise. Captain, I have an idea. I can transfer our remaining energy to the warp drive. We can escape, but it will disable all systems for several hours. Do it, Rhea said. The stars blurred. The ship vanished in a flash of light. When they emerged, everything was quiet again. The crew exhaled in relief. Rhea stood slowly, her hand resting on the control panel. She looked at the dark space outside. We have proof now, she said softly. Proof that the Council lied. Proof that humanity once ruled the stars. But we need more. We need to show the galaxy the truth. Holt nodded. If the resistance is real, they'll help us. Rhea turned toward the stars where Admiral Kane's signal had come from. We're going to find them, she said. And when we do, the Council will finally face the truth they buried. Outside the window, Vega 9 faded behind them, a silent grave of ancient wars and forgotten heroes. As the Vanguard entered warp, Eve spoke quietly. Captain, the old message had one final line I couldn't translate before. I just decrypted it. Rhea looked up. What does it say? Eve paused. Then, in a soft, almost human voice, it said, Humanity never dies. We only sleep, Rhea smiled faintly. Then it's time to wake up. The stars stretched into streaks of light as the Vanguard raced toward destiny. The galaxy thought humanity's story was over. But in truth, it had only just begun. The stars outside the Vanguard glowed faintly as the ship drifted through the cold void. Its engines hummed low, recovering from the last battle. Captain Rhea Morgan stood by the window, her eyes fixed on the endless black. Her reflection looked older now, not from age but from truth. She wasn't just a soldier anymore. She was a copy of a legend. The first Rhea Morgan had fought a war that time itself had tried to erase. Eve's calm voice broke the silence. Captain, systems are back online. Long-range scans show no pursuit for now. Rhea nodded. Good, keep us hidden. Commander Holt approached quietly. We've repaired what we can. The crew's tired, but they trust you, Captain. After what they saw on Vega 9, they know you're fighting for something real. Rhea smiled faintly. Trust is the only weapon we have left. Hours later, Eve interrupted again. Incoming transmission. Encrypted human code. Origin the Terran Resistance. The main screen flickered, and Admiral Kane's face appeared, scarred, weary, but determined. Captain Morgan, he said, so you're a hard woman to find. Rhea crossed her arms. You found me anyway. Kane gave a small grin. The galaxy's talking about you. Some say you're a ghost. Others say you're the reason humanity still fights. Rhea didn't smile. I'm just trying to find the truth. Kane leaned closer to the screen. Then you should know this. We've uncovered part of the Council's hidden archives. They have a secret chamber, the Vault of Origin. It's where they keep the truth about Project Silence. Rhea's heart tightened. Where is it? Inside the Council's core world, Seraph Prime. But be warned, it's the most guarded place in the galaxy. Rhea glanced at Holt. He was already shaking his head. That's suicide, Captain. But Rhea's voice was steady. Then it's worth it. Kane nodded. We'll send you coordinates for a hidden jump route. If you can reach Seraph Prime, you'll find proof of what they did to us. But hurry. The Council has already activated something called the Silence Protocol. Silence Protocol? Rhea asked. Kane's expression darkened. It's a weapon. They plan to erase every human fleet left in the stars. The transmission ended. For a long time, no one spoke. The sound of the ship's engines filled the silence like a heartbeat. Finally, Holt said, Captain, if we go there, we might not come back. Rhea looked out at the stars. Then we make it count. She turned to her crew. Prepare for warp. Destination, Seraph Prime. The Vanguard emerged from hyperspace near the glowing heart of the galaxy. Ahead of them, Seraph Prime floated like a jewel, a planet of gold and silver wrapped in defense grids and energy shields. Thousands of alien ships circled it like bees around a hive. The home of the Galactic Council. Rhea's voice was calm but cold. Eve, cloak the ship. We'll slip through their patrols. Eve replied, activating stealth field. Warning, limited duration. The Vanguard glided silently through the enemy lines, moving like a shadow. Below them, the shining towers of Seraph Prime glittered under the light of a blue sun. Rhea and Holt led a small landing team to the surface. Disguised in stolen alien armor, they entered the city, a place of impossible beauty and hidden cruelty. Everywhere, holograms praised the Council's greatness. Statues of alien leaders lined the streets. But in the center of the city stood a massive structure, black metal, smooth and silent, the Vault of Origin. Rhea whispered, We're here. Eve's voice came through her helmet. Access point detected below ground. I can open the door, but once I do, their security will know we're inside. Do it, Rhea said. The vault doors hissed open. Inside, darkness. They moved carefully through the corridor until they reached a massive chamber filled with glowing pods, thousands of them, each containing a sleeping human. Holt gasped. What is this? Rhea's eyes widened. They didn't erase us. They stored us. Eve's voice trembled slightly. Captain, this facility contains millions of human DNA records and active clones. The Council has been recreating humans for centuries. Then they saw it. A large holographic console in the center of the room. A figure appeared. A tall alien in royal armor, his eyes glowing white. It was High Chancellor Zorath, leader of the Council. Humanity, he said coldly. Always so curious. Rhea stepped forward. You set us up. You caused the Orion Gate disaster. Why, Zorath smiled, thin and cruel. Because you never change. Every time humanity rises, chaos follows. You are fire, and we are tired of burning. Rhea glared at him. You fear us because we don't bow, he replied. No, we fear you because you remember. Zorath raised a hand. The silence protocol has begun. Soon every human ship in the galaxy will vanish. This time there will be no rebirth. Eve shouted through the comms, Captain, energy readings spiking. He's activating a planetary weapon. Rhea aimed her blaster at the hologram. Not this time. She fired at the console, shattering it in a burst of sparks. Sirens blared. The vault began to collapse, lights flashing red. Holt grabbed her arm. We have to go. They ran through the corridors as explosions rocked the ground. Behind them, the vault's chambers burned, a sea of fire swallowing the Council's secrets. Eve's voice echoed, Captain, the data is uploading. I've sent everything to the Resistance, every file, every proof. Rhea smiled through the chaos. Then humanity finally has a voice. They reached the surface just as the Vanguard swooped in. The team jumped aboard as the planet below erupted in flames. From orbit, Rhea watched Seraph Prime burn. Holt looked at her. We did it. The truth is out. Rhea shook her head. No, the war just changed shape. Eve's voice was calm but heavy. Captain, Council fleets are activating across all sectors. The silence protocol has begun. Rhea stared at the burning planet. Then we'll make them hear us before it ends. The Vanguard turned toward the stars, engines glowing bright. Humanity had unleashed the truth, but the galaxy was about to unleash its wrath. And Rhea Morgan, the clone of an ancient warrior, was ready to face it. The galaxy was in chaos. Every human fleet that had survived the Orion Gate disaster now raced through space, trying to avoid the Council's silence protocol. Entire systems were under attack, and the few colonies still alive faced annihilation. But Captain Rhea Morgan and the Vanguard were different. They carried proof, the truth about Project Silence, the first human war, and the Council's lies. Eve, Rhea said, can we broadcast the data? Every system, every fleet, every planet? Eve hesitated. Technically, yes, but the Council will detect it instantly. They'll try to block it. Rhea's eyes burned. Do it anyway. The ship's core hummed as the massive data files were uploaded into the quantum echo beacon, a secret device hidden on the Vanguard for emergencies. Its technology allowed information to travel faster than light, reaching every corner of the galaxy before the Council could stop it. Outside, stars blurred as the ship went into warp. Rhea watched the dark void, thinking of Earth, blue, fragile, and human. For centuries, the Council had tried to erase humanity. Now the galaxy would see the truth. On every system, screens flickered to life. Hollow communicators projected videos of the Council's secret vaults, images of sleeping human clones, and ancient records of wars that humans had fought long before they even left Earth. Alien leaders stopped their fleets. Entire civilizations watched in shock. Humanity had been erased from memory, but not anymore. Still, the Council acted fast. Zorath's fleets fired across the stars, targeting human ships. Entire fleets vanished in seconds under the power of the silence protocol. Rhea shouted, "Keep the beacon running! Protect the signal!" Holt and the crew fought desperately, diverting energy to shields and weapons. The Vanguard became a small island of light in a sea of destruction. Even as ships fell around them, the broadcast continued. For the first time, billions of beings, human and alien alike, understood the truth. The Council called an emergency session. High Chancellor Zorath appeared before the galaxy, his image projected across millions of screens. "Humanity is too dangerous to exist among civilized races," he declared. "They are banned from participating in galactic wars. They will remain in isolation, beyond our borders, beyond our protection." The decree was final. Rhea Morgan stood silently in the command chair, listening. The Council had banned humanity from the wars, but they hadn't destroyed their spirit. "They can ban us," Rhea said softly. "They can try to erase us again, but they cannot stop us from remembering who we are." The Vanguard jumped into deep space, far beyond the galaxy's known borders. Behind them, human survivors regrouped, hiding on secret planets and moons. Rhea's voice echoed through the ship. "We are banned today, but tomorrow we return." Holt looked at her. "Do you really believe that?" Rhea smiled faintly. "We always do." In the silence of space, the quantum echo beacon continued to send messages, proof of humanity's past, courage, and resilience. Ancient humans had fought. Modern humans had survived. And now the galaxy would never forget them again. Centuries passed. Humanity built new colonies, far from the eyes of the Council. Ships were faster, technology stronger, and their fleets wiser. The stories of the Orion Gate and the First Human War became legends. Then, at the edge of the galaxy, a single ship appeared, the Orion Reborn. Its hull gleamed under alien suns, its engines powered by centuries of lost knowledge and undying courage. Inside, a new captain studied the stars. The human legacy had survived, and somewhere far away, Rhea Morgan's name was remembered not as a soldier, but as a symbol, a reminder to every being in the galaxy. Humanity could be banned, but it could never be broken. The stars waited, and humanity, once hidden, was ready to rise again. We were banned from the wars, but not from destiny. The galaxy had witnessed the day humanity was banned, but it would never see the end of their story.